During the return flight aboard the Blackbird, I carefully reread my ancestor's story in the red notebook the desert serpent had given me. I was stunned. I needed to know what happened next in Japan. Before dying, Usama had told me, "If you want to understand, find the Double Dragons clan. Survivors of the Iga clan trained your ancestor Yasuke. They left Japan and supposedly settled somewhere in China." Then, in a lower voice, he added, "Follow the trail of the blood leopard." The trail of the blood leopard. What was that supposed to mean? In Central Africa, especially in the Congo, the leopard symbolizes royalty, power, and the spiritual world. But according to my ancestors' account, the blood leopard was far more than a symbol. It was the name of an ancient African secret society. Following that trail might mean tracing my own bloodline, awakening a buried legacy, or accepting an inner transformation. Another question haunted me. Did the leopard men still exist? I needed answers. So I asked Billy, who was remotely piloting the Blackbird, to investigate these mysterious warriors. Within minutes, his AI had breached the servers of the world's most powerful intelligence agencies. Then the data appeared on the holographic screen of my watch. Billy's voice crackled through my earpiece. The Ingeta, an African mystical order made up of extremely dangerous warrior assassins. An ancient secret society infiltrated everywhere. Africa, Europe, the United States. In the West, they recruit followers in schools and universities, people drawn to their black supremacist ideology. But the most feared branch is the Blood Leopard faction. A silence. Those who follow that path undergo an initiation ritual involving a rare drug called the Ashes, an extremely powerful white powder capable of drastically enhancing physical abilities, but its effects destroy the body. Most die prematurely. The information kept scrolling before my eyes. Originally, the Ingeta hunted members of the M23 in the DRC, especially a former mercenary named Sasu Wazabanga, responsible for the Kawama massacre. He operated alongside his brother, nicknamed the Zebra, because of his vitiligo. But everything changed when a man named Mabe took control of the organization. Since then, the Ingeta have radicalized their doctrine. Their stated goal: eradicate white people by any means necessary. I clenched my jaw. Billy continued. They've also infiltrated several international criminal networks. Their most infamous elite operative is known as Bomaye. They call him the Claw of the Blood Leopard. A brief silence. Wherever he goes, it becomes a slaughter. I shut down the display. What connection existed between the Leopard Men and the Double Dragons clan? Aside from the fact that my ancestor had been trained by descendants of the Iga clan, none of it made sense. At that moment, John entered the cabin after returning from the cargo hold. He dropped heavily into the seat beside me. "What have you been doing this whole time? Ever since we left the Sahel, you've looked completely lost." He paused. This whole Mobui situation shook all of us, even me, and I was barely conscious. Nobody expected anything like that. He turned toward me. "So what now? The Mobui really is a living weapon?" I took a breath. "I think we were manipulated." "What do you mean?" "General Thompson is hiding something from us. He already knew about the Mobui." John frowned. "What the hell are you talking about?" "I'll explain once we land." He hesitated before speaking again. "By the way, your niece applied to the CIA, Operations and Intelligence Division," Billy told me. Her file code director crosses attention. I straightened abruptly. "What? No, absolutely not." John looked at me, surprised. but she's always admired you. You're the reason she joined the Marines. And honestly, her results are outstanding. I shook my head. No, she can't go into that world. My voice was almost trembling. Murphy, what's going on? I lowered my eyes. She's from my bloodline. There's something in my blood. I don't know if that power exists in her too, but I think I never finished the sentence. At that exact moment, the eraser entered the cabin with Virginia. Ever since we left the Sahel, I trusted him even less. Alvarado was still asleep in his seat, but the eraser tightly gripped a steel briefcase he never let out of his sight. I told John we'd continue the conversation later. Meanwhile, in the rear section of the Blackbird, the Mobui's body rested inside a high-tech glass chamber. Artificially kept asleep, its powers neutralized, temporarily. I tried to hide my concern. I have a younger sister, Ella Baker Evers. She got married during my years of military service. Ella is a member of the NAACP, the National Association for the Advancement of Colored People, a historic organization founded in 1909 to defend the rights of African Americans. Her entire life, she fought against racial segregation, discrimination, and the injustices of the American system. But Ella didn't stop there. She also created a Pan-African television network, African Revolution. Then a private university, Black Wall Street University. Her goal was clear: to build a new generation of black elites, business, finance, entrepreneurship, to create an independent black economy, to keep money circulating within our community, to build lasting power. But her daughter, Eunice, was cut from a very different cloth, a tough one. To my great surprise, my niece followed in my footsteps and joined the United States military. From that day on, a cold distance settled between my sister and me. Ella never forgave me. To her, Eunice had enlisted in service of the very system that shattered our father's faith in the American dream. She often reminded me how police brutality had ultimately convinced him that this country would never truly change. I think she inherited our mother's radical side, the Black Panther side. But Eunice, she wanted to be like me. And now I had just learned that she wanted to join the CIA. After everything I had discovered about my blood, about the hidden legacy that might be sleeping inside my genes, I did not see that as a good thing. Even if I still didn't know whether that power could exist in her too. Our stealth aircraft landed at night inside the Ghost secret base in New York. An agency helicopter was already waiting for us on the tarmac. The Mobui was immediately flown back aboard the Blackbird toward Area 51. As for us, we boarded another aircraft bound for the Ghost headquarters, hidden in the very heart of New York City. We were only summoned there during major crises. No one spoke. We were all tense. Everyone except the eraser. His face showed no emotion whatsoever. He possessed the cold calm and terrifying serenity of a living mummy. The IGWT Tower. In God we trust. Officially, it was one of the largest banks in the United States. Unofficially, it was our headquarters. A gigantic glass tower in the heart of Manhattan. The top 10 floors house the Ghost secret laboratories and research divisions. An ultra-secure facility. General Thompson had summoned us there urgently. At first, we all thought he was going to tear us apart over the Sahel mission. But something felt off. The eraser was still clutching his mysterious steel briefcase, as if whatever was inside mattered more than our lives. General Thompson entered the briefing room without wasting a second. I gathered you here because a critical situation requires our immediate attention. He activated the holographic screen behind him. The man's face appeared. This is John Brown El-Fassi, son of Omar El-Fassi and Eliza Brown, Moroccan father, American mother. The general paused. He was the very first ghost, long before any of you. A silence crossed the room. He was our best operative. His expression hardened. Today, he has turned against the agency and against the United States. He now calls himself the Prophet, or MHD. Virginia frowned. MHD? The general gave a bitter smile. Online, MHD is often used as an abbreviation for Mohammed, a reference to the Prophet of Islam. Virginia stared at him in disbelief. You saying your best operative became a jihadist? The general let out a brief laugh. No, MHD is not Muslim. His smile vanished instantly. It's worse. He folded his hands behind his back. We sent him across the globe to hunt the world's most dangerous jihadist. The latest one was the desert serpent. I immediately tensed. For reasons still unknown, he spared the man's life, and he allowed the mobwe to slip through our fingers. The general sighed. I think all those years spent chasing war and fanaticism shattered his mind. The holographic image changed. MHD appeared standing in the middle of ruins, weapon in hand. Today, he sees himself as the final prophet against Western tyranny. Every bullet he fires is, according to him, a prophecy. The general slowly shook his head. He does not believe in Islam. He created his own religion inside his head. His weapons became his holy scriptures, and he himself, the messenger. John Revolver let out a nervous chuckle. So basically, the guy completely lost it. Too bad we share the same first name. Nobody laughed. The general continued immediately. Be careful. The four of you together are nowhere near enough to take him down. A heavy silence fell over the room. He disappeared from our radar until today. And by pure coincidence, he resurfaces on American soil right after we recovered the mobwe. Alvarado crossed his arms. How does someone like that escape you? The general stared at him coldly. Stupid question, Alvarado. He's a ghost. Then he added, You only find a ghost when it wants to be found. The general brought up another image. A black woman, cold eyes, royal posture. Something immediately felt strange to me. After his disappearance, we tracked him to Africa. He was working for one of the most powerful women on the continent. The image enlarged. Ingeta Kin. My eyes stayed locked on the screen. Ingeta Kin is the president of the Ingeta Group, a billionaire adopted by President Mugabe of Zimbabwe after her father's death. The general briefly glanced at John Revolver. Something about his attitude bothered me. She was trained by the new Amazons, the MINO, an independent female militia based in Benin. Combat footage appeared. Armed women, military discipline, brutal training. Ingeta is not just a businesswoman, she's a war machine. The general continued. Through her network and influence, she built an empire across multiple industries, especially weapons manufacturing. Then she created her own elite unit, the Lions. I felt Virginia tense beside me. MHD assisted them in their war against the M23 in the DRC, and their operations seriously threatened American interest in the region. I finally spoke. And what does the Congolese government think about all this? The general gave a cold smile. President Bila has lost the trust of his people. The DRC has become a paradise for mercenaries. He kept staring at the screen. To many Congolese citizens, Ingeta is a hero. He paused. Her economic influence and paramilitary power frightened both Kinshasa and Washington. I was already thinking ahead. You believe the prophet's presence is connected to the mob we capture? We don't know what he's planning, but with him, you should always expect the worst. The general switched the displays again. The port of New York appeared on screen. He was spotted near the port of New York. The area is now under maximum surveillance. Then he added, he's looking for a contact known only as Dragon. I immediately raised my head. Dragon? We don't know his true identity, but we know he's connected to the Chinese triads. I felt my heart beat slow. The triads. The general continued. The triads are criminal organizations descended from ancient Chinese secret societies. They control trafficking, money laundering, cybercrime, underground prostitution, and illegal gambling networks across the world. The screen displayed the face of a young Asian man. Elegant, dangerous. The most powerful dragon in the United States is named ENG. Young, brutal, intelligent. Information scrolled across the screen. Penthouse in Tribeca, private club in Chinatown, hidden sanctuary in Queens. Then one sentence appeared. The Double Dragons clan. I froze internally. The general continued. ENG is believed to be tied to a powerful Chinese sect known as the Double Dragons clan. My blood ran cold. Them again. That name again. This could no longer be coincidence. Our sources indicate he will be at his penthouse in southern Manhattan tonight. The general looked at each of us in turn. If the prophet intends to meet him, it will happen today. He shut off the screen. You will monitor every one of his movements. I do not want MHD disappearing again. Understood, General. You'll operate in civilian clothing. The Double Dragons clan is extremely dangerous. The eraser finally spoke. Avoid attracting their attention. His voice was calm. Too calm. Then he looked directly at me. Murphy, the core of this operation will rest on you. I held his gaze without replying. John, motorcycle. Virginia, helicopter. Alvarado, speedboat. Then he added, the rest of the operation details will be transmitted at the rendezvous point. Deep down, doubt kept growing inside me. Why had they hidden the existence of the first ghost from us? After everything I had learned about the Mobwe in the Sahel, nothing seemed impossible anymore. And now, the Double Dragons clan had resurfaced as well. The same clan tied to my ancestor Yasuke. There were too many coincidences. Far too many.